Hi guys, thanks so much for stopping by. So today I will be doing another book review, and this is entitled Desire Unchained. This is the book 2 of the Demonica series written by Larissa Ione. So if you're new to my book reviews, I usually give you information from goodreads.com and then I'm going to give you my take on it. So this is rated 4.25 out of 5 stars. Pleasure is their ultimate weapon. Runa Wagner never meant to fall in love with the sexy stranger who seemed to know her every deepest desire. But she couldn't resist the unbelievable passion that burned between them, a passion that died when she discovered his betrayal and found herself forever changed, now determined to make Shade pay for the transformation that haunts her. Runa searches for him, only to be taken prisoner by his darkest enemy, a Spinoff demon with a love curse that threatens him with eternal torment. Shade hoped he'd seen the last of Runa and her irresistible charm, but when he wakes up in a dank dungeon chained next to an enraged and mysteriously powerful Runa, he realizes that her effect on him, I'm dyslexic, is more dangerous than ever. As her captor casts a spell that bonds them as life mates, Shade and Runa must fight for their lives and their hearts or succumb to a madman's evil plans. It should be two, I guess. First published back in March 1st, 2009, and the genres it belonged to would be paranormal romance, demons, fantasy, vampires. Check. Should Lycan be a part of it? I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of thinking if there's another genre I should add, but anyway, so if you have read the first book, you would notice that there is a few brothers in this particular series, and there is a book dedicated to their life, and this is Shade's book. This is Shade's story. So essentially, I don't know if it's gonna be a spoiler. Shade is part succubus. Or they call themselves a Spinoff demon also. I know I made reviews on the other books that I have read by Larissa Ione. This is definitely the first series that I did read. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me today. That I did read, but I just didn't think to do a book review right away versus the other 2-part series. But anyway, so it's hard. I'm kind of worried I'm going to say something I shouldn't. So just so you know, the theme of this particular series is definitely each book is dedicated to a specific sibling or a particular person in their circle. And there's definitely a lot of paranormal, dark paranormal. As it says, it belongs in genres of demons and vampires and stuff like that. Those are really put into play. The romance is definitely really like steamy. Larissa Ione really does know how to write a very steamy book. The characters that she had put in play in regards to Shade and Runa are definitely like, whoa. I love Runa. She's a badass. She's a badass, strong woman, and I love that in a heroine. I'm having a really hard time because the summary on Goodreads.com is pretty vague to me. It just really kind of focuses on their desires and their passion. The book really does have a lot more than that. Yes, it's a big part of it, which was really the big reason why I was so drawn to it and the series, was because of the big romance and all that stuff. But when it comes to this series and this book in particular, it's not just romance, and she does write an amazing book. The characters are definitely very well rounded and in depth. And this book, it was hard to put down, to go to sleep or to do something that I can't really be reading because I have to focus on it completely. It was really hard to do that. So I think I'll just leave it to that. I enjoyed this book thoroughly. It was a very enjoyable read. I love all sorts of different genres, as long as romance is the backbone, and as long as there's a big part of it that has a romantic part, and it has to have that, and everything else is just tiny details for me. The fact that it's a paranormal romance, that just, to me, there are no limits, because it's paranormal and it's not just your everyday human being where there are a lot of limits in there. So that part really excites me a lot too, just because, you know, like, they can jump off a building and be fine, you know, things like that, like, it really excite me too. If you're into paranormal romance, or you're into paranormal stories and books, this is definitely something you should try to pick up. I know it's published 10 years ago, and I didn't know this book 10 years ago. My life was completely different 10 years ago. So, definitely enjoyed this book. I strongly recommend. I would say this is an 8 out of 10 in my star rating. I recommend it, and hopefully you enjoyed my video, guys, that you do give it a thumbs up. And I know I'm very vague about it, and I'm having really a hard time putting things into words, just because I just feel like I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and actually give you guys a spoiler, so I apologize for that. I do say that this is a great book. Very fun, very action-packed, exhilarating, steamy. Also, I give it a 2 thumbs up, and hopefully, if you haven't yet, do subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. If you guys have any recommendations and books for me to pick up, do feel free to let me know down below. I strongly do suggest there has to be a big part of romance in there, because I've had different kinds of suggestions. I've had authors and small, you know, and writers starting out, and it's just hard when the book doesn't really have a big part of romance in there. It's more different kinds of genres. That's really going to be hard for me to pick that book up and start reading it. Just so you know, yes, I'm grateful that you're sending me your books. I just prefer really to get the, you know, unless it's a sponsored video, but usually they're not. So I would really prefer it has to have romance in there, because it's going to be very difficult for me to go through a book that doesn't have romance in there, just so you know. It's just going to be kind of a challenge for me. So anyway, thanks guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye. Thanks so much for watching my video. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and the bell so you are notified every single time I do upload a new video. I do also have 2 other channels. Please do check that out as well. Subscribe and watch my videos there as well. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them down below. I love hearing from you guys all the time.